Chapter 85. Xiangyi smiled and didn't say anything. Apart from her family, she wouldn't interfere too much with other people. This was the basic etiquette of a person. Shui guessed what she was thinking and immediately understood what she was thinking. She really didn't care about him that much. The loquat fruit was very sweet. After swallowing it, she didn't know if it was a psychological effect, but even her throat felt a little moist. Xiangyi originally planned to leave after giving him the things, but suddenly a rebellious thought emerged. She pursed her lips and said in a soft voice, "Senior." "Yes. Can I have a cigarette?" Xiangyi asked carefully. Shui frowned. "You're a child. Why are you smoking?" Xiangyi defended herself. "I'm an adult. I can be responsible for my own actions." Shui was indifferent. The little girl looked at him eagerly and raised her white fingers. "Just one, okay?" Was she acting coquettishly? Shui's Adam's apple bobbed and he threw the cigarette box over. Xiangyi had obviously never smoked before. It was purely out of curiosity. After holding it for a few seconds, she realized that cigarettes wouldn't spontaneously combust. "Senior, do you have a lighter?" Before he could finish his sentence, the man suddenly bent down and clasped his fingers together. Crack! The flame flickered and bloomed. The rebellious girl, was stunned. Was Zai lighting a cigarette for her? The man's handsome face was very close. His jawline was thin, and his collar was slightly messed up by himself, revealing half of his collarbone and clear Adam's apple. He raised his eyebrows. "You don't want it?" Xiangyi hurriedly said. Yes. Although the conversation was a little strange, Xiangyi didn't think too much about it. After lighting it, she carefully tasted it. Out of her occupational habit, she commented, "It's a little bitter and astringent. I don't know what it'll taste like if you put tobacco in soup." It was most likely a dark cuisine. Shui leaned back in his chair and looked at her with a faint smile. He looked like a playboy who indulged his child to do evil. But soon he couldn't laugh anymore. Xiangyi choked before she could even take 2 breaths. She coughed so hard that it shook the heavens and the earth. The corners of her eyes were watery, and they were as red as the cinnabar mole on her heart. She didn't give up and wanted to try again, but the cigarette in her hand was taken away by the man's big hand. "You can try, but you're not allowed to smoke again. Besides, there's nothing good about it." The girl's expression was indescribable. It was as if she was saying, "Senior, you don't have the right to criticize me." A certain best actor's mental fortitude was very good. His expression didn't change and his heart didn't skip a beat. "Come have some tea." "Oh." Xiangyi was sipping her flower tea when she suddenly heard a clatter. She tilted her head and saw that Shui had thrown the cigarette box into the trash can. His expression was still indifferent and lazy. His Adam's apple bobbed as he said, "I'll quit smoking." Shui sighed helplessly and gently. "Don't learn bad things from me." *5 chapters. Anwan is very arrogant today. Praise me immediately. Happy Dragon Boat Festival. I'll try to unlock the update ahead of time today. Good night. Chapter 86. Thump, thump, thump. Her heart suddenly skipped a beat. What a strange feeling. Xiangyi blinked. Just like how she wouldn't advise Shui to smoke less, she didn't comment on Shui's decision to quit smoking. She just smiled politely and glanced at the script on the table. It was clean, but the edges were frayed. It had obviously been flipped through many times. "Senior, are you going to act?" "I'm hesitating." "Huh." Xiangyi was curious. "Is there a problem with the script?" "The script is very good, it's my problem. This role. I don't think I can play it well." Xiangyi was a little surprised by his answer. Zai has won the Best Actor award. How can there be a scene he can't play? Seeing her blank face, Shui's thin lips curled up slightly. There are too many emotional scenes. Xiangyi recalled that Shui had played almost none of the roles he had played since his debut. Forget about an on-screen kiss. He had never even hugged or held hands for the first time. Xiang Yi didn't continue this topic. She had her own safe zone when socializing with others. She didn't like others interfering with her life, nor did she like to pry into other people's privacy. By the way, I'm going to install a swing. Senior, come and try it out when I'm done. Sure, Sway. Okay, I'll definitely support you. Then I'll go back and change. With that, the girl walked away briskly. Sure Sway stared at her back and did not look away even after she disappeared from his sight. He remembered Director Yan's advice. If you want to act well in emotional scenes, it's actually very simple. Just have a few more relationships and you'll know how to do it. Relationships. Sure Sway rubbed his forehead, feeling a headache coming on. Xiang Yi changed into a more convenient outfit and tied her hair into 2 buns. She excitedly went to install the swing. It was time for the live stream and the camera was pointed at her. Many fans were waiting in the live stream. As soon as they saw the screen, the comments section immediately became lively. Sister Yi's buns are so cute. Is she going to install a swing? So hardcore. Wow! I see Smog in the frame. He looks so fierce. Sameo Gu is coming for the vase fairy. Oh my god, I can feel his murderous aura through the screen. Meanwhile, in the small building in the Sea of Bamboo, the live stream of Heartbeat was playing a werewolf game. The number of viewers had just increased a little when Director Chan heard his assistant report that the number of viewers for Two Under One Roof was increasing rapidly. Our viewership numbers have dropped again. After all, most of the people watching the live broadcast of variety shows were still young people. Information was spread and exchanged quickly. Once there was a commotion, they would rush to the front line to watch the show. Director Chan was so angry that he was about to vomit blood. He snatched the tablet and took a look. The live stream showed Smog rushing up to Xiang Yi and snatching the wooden board from her hand. He roared angrily. Do you know what you're doing? The young girl was obviously stunned by the roar. She whispered, Install a swing. What's the point of installing this broken thing? Xiang Yi helplessly tugged at the corner of her clothes. She sounded a little aggrieved. You were the one who said you wanted to pretend. There were all kinds of comments in the comment section. Sigma, degree. Oh my god, Smog really has a fiery temper. You're about to vomit from the vase fairy's prank and you're still acting coquettishly in front of Smog. Are you worthy? Fight. I love watching this kind of catfight. Director Chen's eyes lit up. He was waiting for Smog to curse and for the live stream of Two Under One Roof to be banned. Chapter 87. Ban, hurry up and ban it. Once the traffic is banned, it'll belong to Heartbeat. Only to hear the angry and violent roar of the esports god over the Bluetooth headset. Put that thing down. Are girls' hands for this kind of manual labor? The netizens in the live stream. Director Chen, who was waiting for him to curse. Did I hear wrong? What did Smog say? Not only were the netizens dumbfounded, but the staff at the scene were also dumbfounded. Xiang Yi held the rope in confusion, hesitating whether to put it down or not. Seeing this, Xiang Yu grabbed the rope from her hand with his other hand and said fiercely, This kind of thing is for men to do. Just leave it to me. In the live stream, I suggest everyone post their shock on the public screen. Shocking, is Smog actually so manly? Is a little cool. I feel like I'm watching a domineering primary school chicken fall in love with me. Sameo Gu, wake up, your hands aren't for this kind of manual labor. Xiang Yu's hands-on skills were superb as he picked up the woodworking saw and began to gesture. He had liked to do handicrafts since he was a child. Xiang Yi thought he was using the swing as a toy, so she tentatively asked, Then let's do it together. Xiang Yu glanced at her sideways. I'll give you a task. Xiang Yi's eyes were bright and full of anticipation. Xiang Yu. See that little stool over there? Move it over here. The girl trotted over to move the stool over. Then she heard Xiang Yu say, Okay, you can sit next to me and watch. Just a swing, no big deal. Wait, you're too close, sit further away, at least 3 meters. No, 5 meters away. The netizens. Director Chen. Where did the hot-tempered Smog go? Who is this arrogant and cocky man? No, can someone explain to me what's going on? Doesn't Sameo-gu hate the vase fairy? Why is he helping her install the swing? This doesn't make sense. Gidge, your hands are for holding the sniper rifle in the game, not the woodworking saw. The audience was full of question marks. Xiangyu picked up the woodworking saw and began to saw the planks. Xiangyi, who was sitting on the stool, gradually regained her senses. Her brother's attitude towards her seemed to be different. She blinked her eyes and wanted to test the waters. Smiling, she handed over a pair of gloves. Wear this. Otherwise it'll hurt if you scratch your hand. Who wants to wear this thing? I can't even do my job properly. Despite his words, Xiangyu still put on his gloves. His face was ferocious, but his heart was filled with thoughts. Younger sister care me. Bairuo was a step behind because she was touching up her makeup. When she came out, she found that Smog was busy and Xiangyi was sitting on the side doing nothing. She felt disdain in her heart. She was really blind. Smog must hate this kind of lazy woman. Smog, let me help you, Bairuo said gently. You look like you're having a hard time. The barrage suddenly floated across a row of ha-ha-ha. White Lotus showtime, performance time. Xiangyu raised his head and glanced at her, indifferently saying, then climb the tree and secure the rope. Bairuo. Climb the tree. Her expression was horrified. How could he let a girl do this? Was he a steely man? You don't even know how to climb a tree. The young esports god showed a disgusted expression. Go to the side, you're blocking my light. Bairuo. Chapter 88. Bairuo felt extremely wronged. She simply couldn't express her bitterness. She was a girl. Shouldn't a normal person ask her to bring water or a towel or something? Who would have thought that Smog would ask her to climb a tree? How could a girl climb a tree? Xiangyi raised her little paw. I'll do it, I know how. Xiangyu was expressionless. You don't. Xiangyi was anxious. I really do, I can climb really fast. Xiangyu was super fierce. No, you really don't. The netizens in the stream burst into laughter. Ha 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 ha, esports gods double standards. Sameo-gu to Sister E. Sit down and don't move. Sameo-gu to Bairuo, climb the tree. Smog, you're so straight that you won't be able to find a girlfriend, you know. Bairuo's expression is killing me. When a white lotus meets a straight man of steel, who will fall if not you? Smog wouldn't like the vase fairy, right? His tsundere nature of saying one thing and thinking another is quite cute. Soon Shui also came over. He really didn't put on any airs as he helped Xiangyu set up the swing. Xiangyu climbed the tree extremely quickly. Under the tree, Shui fell into a mesmerized silence. Climbing trees couldn't be a talent of the Xiang family, right? Previously, in order to eat the fruit from the jujube tree downstairs, Xiangyu had climbed up in a suit. The two men worked together and soon finished setting up the swing. Xiangyi was eager to try. Let me see if I can swing it. Xiangyu directly refused. No. Why? Xiangyu coughed and turned his face away uncomfortably. Why are you so naughty? It's too dangerous. Xiangyi excitedly clenched her fists. Big Brother's attitude had really changed. The girl's clear eyes seemed to be filled with sparkling stars. She slowly bloomed into a sweet and gentle smile, completely different from the polite smile she displayed in front of outsiders. Shui was momentarily absent-minded. An absurd thought inexplicably popped up in his mind. If only she could smile so sweetly for him. Bairuo rolled her eyes in her heart. This Xiangyi really had some skill, even seducing Smog. However, in terms of seduction, she did not believe that she would lose to Xiangyi. Why don't I do it? I'm lighter so it won't matter if I fall. Bairuoro volunteered, thinking that if she deliberately fell down, Smog would definitely catch her. When the time came, she would do something in his arms. A straight man was still a man. She didn't believe that she couldn't handle him. Bairuoro's eyes overflowed with confidence. Xiangyu nodded. Then you can try. Bairuoro gracefully sat on the swing, only to find that Smog was looking at Shui, and Shui was also looking at him innocently. Brother Sure, you support her. Why don't you do it? I just climbed a tree. My hands are weak. How can an old man like me compare to you youngsters? Bairuoro looked on helplessly as the two of them declined back and forth. None of them were willing to help her hold the swing. Bullet screen. In the end, it was Xiangyi who came over to help. Before they swung, Xiangyu suddenly leaned over to Bairuoro's ear and turned off their microphones. He lowered his voice and threatened. If you fall, fall to the ground. Don't hit her. Do you understand? Bairuoro. This was no longer a question of being a straight man. Are you even human? She looked at Shui with tears in her eyes. The man smiled slightly, but his eyes were filled with ice. Bairuoro's vision darkened. She never thought that her White Lotus technique would not have any room to use. Chapter 89. Shui and Xiangyu's craftsmanship was too good. The swing was so sturdy that Bairuoro didn't even have a chance to fall. More importantly, she suspected that even if she did fall, no one would help her up. After ensuring the safety of the swing, Xiangyu let his sister go up and play. With a cold face, he helped her push the swing. Push it higher, push it higher. With her brother around, Xiangyi's courage grew. Why do you want it so high? Are you trying to fly to the sky? Although he complained, his hands honestly increased the force. Shui stood guard by the side, her eyes gentle as she warned. Be careful, don't fall. Bairuoro. She wanted to laugh but she couldn't. Complicated mood. JPG, why didn't they say a word when she was on the swing just now? Now that it was Xiangyi's turn, they cared so much. Xiangyi say something bad about her to them. Thinking of this possibility, Bairuoro gritted her teeth in hatred. While the photographer wasn't paying attention, she secretly took out her phone and sent Xiaoyang a few messages. After playing with his sister on the swing, Xiangyu immediately went to chop firewood. Xiangyi circled around him, pouring tea and towels, tending to the plants, and smiling at her brother from time to time. Xiangyu curled his lips and said in disgust, "You're smiling like a fool." Live comments. I actually think this scene is very heartwarming. Is this the legendary CP feeling? If you look closely, their facial features are a bit similar. Do they look like husband and wife? Sumeogu, you're obviously grinning from ear to ear. You're smiling like a landlord's silly son. Bairuoro remembered the information Xiaoyang had told her before and walked to Xiangyi's side. She pretended to praise the plants before casually asking, "Sister Xiangyi, what major did you study in university?" Xiangyi glanced at her and said lightly, "Agriculture." "Ah, really?" Bairuoro covered her mouth in surprise. "No wonder you like planting flowers so much. It's related to your major." Xiangyi responded perfunctorily as she thought about what to cook for her brother tonight. 4 was too little. How about 6? Wouldn't 8 be more auspicious? Zai was also so thin. Only by eating something good would he be able to nourish his body. Both the speaker and listener were interested in each other. The atmosphere in the live broadcast room was immediately stirred by Ruoruo. Agriculture? Study what? Farming. I can't move. I suddenly feel like Xiangyi is so. XH? Other socialites studied jewelry design, financial management, and so on. The vase fairy actually studied agriculture. So low to the max. Didn't she, you haven't even finished university. You haven't even finished university. You haven't even finished university. You have a. You'ves. Xiangyi finished topping a margarita, creating a perfect ball shape. She casually said, "I graduated." Bai Ruoro laughed in her heart. Xiangyi had entered the entertainment industry at the age of 19 last year. She was probably a sophomore at most, yet she dared to say she had graduated. Wasn't she afraid that the netizens would make her a hot topic? The comments were just as Bai Ruoro had expected. The vase fairy was probably expelled from university and only has a high school education. As we all know, agriculture scores are shockingly low. Most people are transferred to this major with low scores. The vase fairy probably didn't score much on the college entrance exam. Tiskese, her family actually supports her farming. She must be a nouveau riche. She's a farmer who's afraid of not having enough food to eat. What a joke. Can diligent warmth have a recommendation vote? Good night. Chapter 90. Bai Ruoro's lead was successful, and the corners of her mouth curled up. Suddenly, she heard a dark voice behind her. "So concerned about others. Which university did you graduate from?" Meeting Smog's narrowed eyes, Bai Ruoro's expression flashed with panic. I. What? What can't you say?" Bai Ruoro braced herself and said, "I was scouted as a trainee in high school." Uft. Xiangyu unceremoniously laughed out loud. The live comments. So Bai Ruoro is a high school dropout. We really shouldn't have high expectations for the education of celebrities in the entertainment industry. Smog is quite uneducated. Bai Ruoro can't get out of the embarrassing situation with his question. To be honest, celebrities debuted early, and some were even child stars. It's quite normal for them to not have a high education level. They rely on their faces to make a living. Compared to our Shuringdi, he's really awesome. He's one of the few top students in the entertainment industry. He entered Beijing University as the city's top scorer, but unfortunately, he dropped out CAC. Bai Ruoro's heart was bleeding from being exposed in front of everyone. Now everyone knew that she hadn't even finished high school. She tried to shift her attention to Xiangyi with an envious and worshipful expression. "I'm so envious of you, Sister Xiangyi. You debuted last year, right? You graduated from university at the age of 19. You're really amazing." Xiangyi. "Fortunately, I'm the last to graduate from university in my family. Big brother, second brother, and third brother were geniuses. Fourth brother, Xiangyu, had finished university abroad at the age of 17 before returning to play esports. Even the most ignorant and incompetent Xiang Feng had finished business administration at the age of 18. Xiangyi, who grew up among the top students and prodigies, had different references from ordinary people. Thus, she had always thought of herself as a very ordinary person. Little did she know that because of her words, the live stream room began to ridicule her again. "Learning how to farm must have made you so awesome. You can tell all kinds of lies. The more daring you are, the more you will produce." The vase fairy's bragging is too natural. If her acting skills were this good, she would have won the Best Actress award a long time ago. She speaks as if it's true. A normal person starts the first grade of elementary school at 7, graduates from high school at 18, and goes to university at 19. Have a bold guess. The vase fairy might have really graduated from university, but she changed her age to enter the entertainment industry. F***ck, what you said makes sense. The vase fairy is probably in her 20s, but she's still pretending to be young. Ugh, disgusting. In the live broadcast room there were all sorts of cynical people jumping up and down. Apart from the netizens who hated Xiangyi, there were also quite a number of paid posters from the production team of Heartbeat mixed in. The public opinion was one-sided. Bai Ruoro was still not satisfied and added fuel to the fire. "Senior Sure, you were the top scorer in the college entrance exam. I remember that your total score was over 700. Sister Xiangyi, how much did you score?" Xiangyi. "Me? I think it's less than 700 points." It had been so long that she couldn't remember clearly. She vaguely remembered that it was very close to 700 points. Bullet screen. Ha ha ha, the vase fairy is so pretentious. She's definitely the king of acting tough. I've learned it. The last time I did a mock test I got 400 points. In the future, I won't be able to get 700 either. Come, let's bet on the 50-cent vase fairy's real score. I remember that Nanqing's second-tier score was only around 300 points. As soon as the carnival of the haters in the comment section began, they heard Shi Sui's gentle and clear voice clearly transmitted through the microphone. If I remember correctly, it's 699 points, right? The comment section that had been lively just a moment ago instantly fell into a dead silence. Chapter 91. Li Jianyu, the cameraman, and the other staff members were all shocked. Teacher Xiangyi actually scored 699 points in the college entrance exam. Xiang Yu, who had been one step too slow and had his words stolen by Shi Sui. Oh, so angry. He also remembered his sister's score. This kind of face-slapping thing should be done by him, the older brother. This was stealing his rice bowl. Asterisk. Bairoro's face turned pale as she laughed dryly. Senior Shi, are you joking? What do you think? Shi Sui slowly adjusted her gold-rimmed glasses. Her eyes were thin as she looked at her with a faint smile. The broadcast room was filled with questions. 699 points. Is the full score 750? Is Shi Yingdi covering for the vase fairy? I'm speechless. Shi Sui actually lied for a woman like this. Bairoro was flustered by Shi Sui's gaze and stuttered. Senior, how do you know this? Shi Sui said lightly. Our families are old friends, isn't it normal to know this? Besides, college entrance exam results can't be faked. Do you think I'm lying? With just a few words, Bairoro was rendered speechless. Xiangyi, who was trimming the flowers, stopped and looked at Shi Sui with some surprise. It was normal to know. But remembering was rare. It turned out that Zai was not only smart and diligent, but also very attentive. Xiang Yu was scratching his head anxiously. He wanted to yell at Shi Sui to shut up and give me a chance to perform. He had treated his sister so badly before, and now he had to make up for it. He pulled out a precious video on his phone and showed it to Bairoro. Here, my sister's interview. It was an interview from Nanqing TV station, and the subtitles at the bottom read, A 15-year-old genius girl scored 699 points. The image had been compressed by the phone and was very blurry, but it was enough to recognize that the person being interviewed was Xiangyi herself. At that time, the little girl still had some baby fat on her cheeks and her hair was tied up in 2 ponytails. She was so adorable that it exploded. Reporter. Today is the release of results. We interviewed a 15-year-old passerby student. Who would have thought that she would score 699? Your family must be very happy with such a high score, right? My second brother said that I'm too stupid. When he was 15 years old, he was almost done with his medical doctoral thesis. The reporter was speechless for 2 seconds. He maintained his good professionalism and continued to ask, Wow, it seems that your brother is very outstanding. You are a science student. Do you have any learning experiences that you would like to share with everyone? Just read the book twice and do some practice questions. The reporter. What if you can't do it after watching it twice? No. The little girl tilted her head. Then, let's watch it again. Reporter, fake smile. JPG. She picked up the milk tea and took a big sip. As she chewed on the pearl, she said gloomily, My brother only watched it once. Every time I watched it twice, they would laugh at me. Reporter, continue to fake smile. JPG. Alright, thank you for sharing with us. Let's interview the next passerby. Bairoro's eyes widened. She just wanted to lead the netizens to trample on Xiangyi, but she didn't expect Xiangyi to score so high on the college entrance exam. The broadcast room was once again shaken. Wei is dead. 15-year-old sister E is too. Come on. The reporter's expression is my expression in front of the screen. The world of top students is indeed out of reach. Smile. Did Smog just say my sister? The vase fairy is his sister. How is that possible? Chapter 92. No way. It's probably just a slip of the tongue. Smog is a few months older than Xiangyi, so it's okay to call her sister. F***C. I just searched. Guess what Samayoji's real name is? Xiangyu. He has the same surname as the vase fairy. Ha ha ha, hearing you guys call her the vase fairy all day long, I didn't even realize what her real name was. At the live broadcast, Bairoro didn't even think that Smog and Xiangyi were siblings. However, she could feel that Shui and Smog were protecting Xiangyi. She didn't dare to cause trouble in the open and carefully continued to record. Li Jianyu cued everyone. Teachers, do you have any plans for the afternoon? Other variety shows would often be given tasks by the program team, but Two Under One Roof was different. They only gave a general direction, and as for the minor tasks, they were given the highest degree of freedom. To put it simply, the guests could do whatever they wanted. If they didn't want to work, they could just lie down and chat. Bairuoruo had been eyeing the glass greenhouse for a long time. She felt that if she recorded inside, the results would be particularly good. In order to please Xiaoyang, she even went to etiquette class. If she could go to the glass greenhouse to drink afternoon tea and eat small cakes, it would be very elegant. Before she could speak, Xiangyu asked Xiangyi, where are we going? His tone was slightly uncomfortable. Just now he had blurted out my sister, but now he couldn't call her sister. After all, his sister hadn't called him big brother yet. A man's face was more important than the heavens. Whoever called him first would lose. He must coax his sister and make her willingly follow behind him and call him big brother. Shui also looked at Xiangyi. His temperament was gentle and elegant. If Bairoro hadn't seen him in a dangerous state without his glasses, she would have thought that he was gentle and easy to talk to, just like the audience. Xiangyi, I'm going to Little Rabbit Farm to help Uncle Wang spray pesticides. Xiangyu didn't even think about it. I'll go with you. Shui chuckled. Sounds interesting. Bairuoruo was about to vomit blood. Spray pesticides. The moment he heard it, it sounded dirty and unkempt. Who knows how much the netizens despised him. But for the sake of the camera, she couldn't stay alone. She could only pretend to be very happy. I'll go too. The cameraman chased after the guests who were about to shoot, explaining several different but vivid perspectives to the audience in the live broadcast room. The scale of Little Rabbit Farm could not be considered large, but even though it was small, it had all the essentials. Halfway up the hill, there were wild boars and goats, and further down, there was a dairy enclosure. The crop planting area was basically mechanized. There were planters, harvesters, and so on. Artificial intelligence robots were used in the warehouse. It was very convenient for them to tally, pick up, and deliver the goods. Wang Xuanli personally came over to give her a few remote controls. Xiangyi thanked him in a low voice. Bairuoruo cursed Xiangyi countless times in her heart. It was such a hot day, she was going to get tanned. She was here to participate in a variety show, not to do farm work. Bairuoruo couldn't help but feel aggrieved when she thought of the backward scenes in TV shows where she carried a water bottle and sprayed it everywhere. She pretended to be submissive and weak. Sister Xiangyi, where's the spray bottle? There's no need. How can there be no need? It's the kind of bottle that sprays mist when pressed. How can you spray pesticides without that? Bairuoruo was secretly delighted. She thought she had caught Xiangyi's loophole. Sister Xiangyi, you don't study agriculture. How can you not know this? Xiangyi looked at her with a complicated expression for a few seconds. Her finger pressed a button on the remote control. Buzz buzz buzz. A cool and brand new drone carrying a spraying tool slowly hovered into the air. Bairuoruo. It wasn't convenient to cut off the internet at home, so it was a bit late. Good night. I'll update everyone once the internet is fixed. Chapter 93. The Netizens in the Stream. What the F***ck high-tech farming. This is a rich and beautiful game with paywalls lighting up smoke. JPG. Oh my god, this drone costs more than 30,000 yuan. My family owns the land to grow vegetables, but I've been reluctant to buy it. I'm so jealous. Hahaha, Bairoro is my source of joy today. Every time I see her jumping around I get slapped in the face. It's so funny. The drone's blades rotated, and under Xiangyi's control, it rose to a suitable height. Do you want to try? Xiangyi looked at her brother. Xiangyu felt a little itchy and picked up a remote control. Xiangyi quietly taught him how to use it. The two's heads were almost touching, imperceptibly exuding a familiar and intimate posture. Bairuoro's eyes were red with envy as she squeezed forward. Sister Xiangyi, I'm ignorant. Teach me too. Xiangyi had no interest in her, but she still maintained basic social etiquette and patiently explained the basic operation to her. Shi Sui casually picked a green foxtail and teased Xiao Naofu, who had followed her. Meow meow meow. Xiao Naofu hopped around. Every time it was about to reach it, the foxtail would rise a bit higher. It was so angry that its fur was about to explode, and its pink and white paws slapped Shi Sui's calf. The man chuckled lowly, picked up the angry kitten, held it in one hand, and tossed the foxtail to it to play with. Xiao Naofu snorted and turned its face away, ignoring him. Shi Sui scratched its chin and gently negotiated. Be good, okay? Xiao Naofu then mercifully picked up the foxtail with its paws and began to play with it. In the stream, the vase fairy is poisonous, ignoring our Shi Sui's eye again. Oh, why is this man so good at playing with cats? Tsundere kittens are the best. I also want to be hugged and coaxed by Shering Di Kak. Want to team up to steal a cat? A kitten that can be sweet and can bark like a dog is a steal. Not long after, another drone appeared in the sky. Xiang Yu's operation was successful. Amazing! Xiangyi's eyes curved into crescents. Tisk, what's so difficult about that? It's much easier than playing games, Yu of the Xiang family said in a way that he thought was cool and pretentious. Little did he know that in the eyes of outsiders, he was just an arrogant and childish big boy. Bullet screen. Sameo Gu is really a primary school chicken. He was clearly nervous just now, but when the drone took to the sky, he also became arrogant. Bairuoro saw how easily the two of them completed the operation and thought it was very simple. She didn't listen carefully just now. After tossing and turning for a long time, the drone still stayed in place, motionless. An idea came to her, and she leaned over to Xiangyu and said meekly, Smog, can you teach me? Although Xiangyu had a fiery temper, he wouldn't flare up for no reason. Out of courtesy, he taught Bairuoro a lesson. In the end, Bairuoro still did not learn it. Tears welled up in her eyes. I'm sorry. Smog, am I too stupid? Bairuoro was showing weakness out of habit. In the past, whenever she showed a pitiful and tearful expression, both men and women would comfort her with a few words. She didn't expect. Xiangyu nodded and said something that could be called a universe-level straight man. You actually know you're stupid? Not bad, you're very self-aware. Bairuoro. Are you F***king praising me or insulting me? In an instant, a uniform bullet screen appeared in the stream. Ha 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 ha. Chapter 94. I finally know who Bai Lianhua's opponent is. Come on everyone, type these 4 words onto the public chat. Iron, straight man. Bairuoro, don't walk the path of an actress. Be a comedian, I think you have a lot of potential, ha 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 ha. Is there a mistake with the tag of this show? Why did you choose the lifestyle category? Choose comedy immediately. Seconded, in addition to being funny, you can also add a gourmet tag. Dear, have you forgotten the tags of being in love, having meat, and being a single man and a single woman? Manual dog head. The comment section was a sea of joy, but in reality, Bairuoro really wanted to cry. It was too difficult, really too difficult. Originally, she had come to ride on the popularity and trample on Xiangyi in a simple mode. But who would have thought it would be the hellish hard mode? Thinking about it carefully, the source of her embarrassment was Sure Sui and Smog's targeting. Xiangyi must have done something. Bai Ruoruo hated her to death in her heart. She looked at Xiangyi with tears in her eyes. Sister Xiangyi, there's something I don't know if I should say. Xiangyu. Don't say anything you shouldn't say. Bai Ruoruo. Xiangyi was focused on spraying the medicine and didn't quite hear what she said. She tilted her head. What did you say? Bai Ruoruo organized her words and said in a weak tone. Sister Xiangyi, it's cool to use high-tech farming like this, but you have to know, real farmers don't have these kinds of equipment. I don't mean anything else, I just think this is too unrealistic and there's no way to promote it. Instead of wasting manpower, material and financial resources, it's better to donate the money directly to the farmers. Hearing this, Xiang Yu and Sure Sui glanced at each other. Both of them saw indescribable emotions in each other's eyes. But Bai Ruoruo's words were somewhat provocative, and there were quite a few people in the live broadcast room who supported her. That's right, it's a waste of money. How many farmers are still facing the earth and the sky? The vase fairy is really eating minced meat by doing this. Anyway, I really hate the vase fairy's faint sense of superiority. So what if she's rich? What is she without money? Hee. Would she know how to farm if she didn't use these mechanized equipment? Of course, there were also people who expressed their confusion. What the hell is this moral kidnapping? Why don't you donate? Did I drink your water or eat your rice? Bairu, do you live by the sea? Please, even if this kind of farming method can't be popularized, Sister E is spending her own money. Going to bars and shopping for luxury goods is a hobby. Can't Sister E spend some money on high-tech farming as a hobby? Li Jianyu's heart was in his throat. He frantically gestured to Sure Sui to find a way to save the situation. If it were someone else, there probably wouldn't be such a huge controversy. The main reason was that the impression that Xiangyi gave people before was too If an ordinary person did something wrong, people might tolerate and forgive them. But artists were very special. In this profession, their every move would be infinitely magnified, especially someone like Xiangyi who had always been slandered by the entire internet. To exaggerate, even if she were to drink a mouthful of water right now, it would be an unforgivable mistake in the eyes of many people. Sure Sui pinched Xiao Naofu's cheeks. Xiao Naofu was so angry that he hugged and gnawed on his face. His slender fingertips were covered in saliva. But the man didn't look embarrassed at all. He still looked elegant and refined. He avoided the camera and mouthed to Li Jianyu. Trust her. Chapter 95. Li Jianyu was about to go crazy. Daddy Sure, why are you giving me chicken soup at a time like this? Teacher Xiangyi is a silly girl. How can she deal with a girl like Bai Ruoruo? If he had known earlier, he wouldn't have agreed to let Bai Ruoruo participate in the variety show. At this time, Li Jianyu still hadn't realized that his impression of Xiangyi had completely changed in just a few days. He was even starting to be a little biased. At the center of attention, Xiangyi's expression was calm as she blinked her long eyelashes. What you said makes sense. Bai Ruoruo was secretly delighted. Ha, who told you to show off? You still fell in the end. The next second, Xiangyi slowly said, but you might have misunderstood something. The purpose of Little Rabbit Farm's existence is not only to harvest agricultural products for sale, but also to cooperate with Nanqing's Crop Breeding Research Institute. The purpose is to explore the planting data of excellent seeds in a variety of environments with different production tools. Bai Ruoruo didn't understand what she was saying at all, but she subconsciously argued back. But other places don't have such good equipment, and they can't afford it. Besides, how can ordinary people tell if a seed is good or not? They don't understand these high and mighty things. As Bai Ruoruo spoke, she inexplicably felt that something was wrong. It was too quiet. Her body stiffened as she realized that Shi Sui and Xiang Yu had no intention of participating in the conversation. It was as if disdain. An invisible panic swept through Bai Ruoruo's body. Had she made a mistake? The girl's gentle and quiet voice gently entered her ears. Little Rabbit Farm is only a part of the experimental data. Excellent crop seeds will be compared in mountainous areas, plains, sandy areas, and other places with different soils and climates. The country is based on agriculture, and agriculture is based on planting. Only by cultivating excellent seeds can it truly benefit the farmers. With excellent seeds, we can plant them in large quantities and then provide them to the market. Then, even if the environment is harsh and the tools are not advanced enough, we can still have a relatively high yield. The live stream comments. Although I don't fully understand, I somehow feel that the vase fairy. No, the little vase is quite charming. So it's a collaboration with a research institute. Sister Yi's response is too good. Woo-woo, it's reasonable, gentle, and appropriate. I'm shocked. This is the power of knowledge. No wonder she scored 699 on the college entrance exam. Her logic is so clear. Speaking from the relevant industry, the young lady really isn't messing around. In fact, the application of mechanization and drones in agriculture is the general trend, but there is too little experimental data for reference in the country. Perhaps these explorations of Little Rabbit Farm will become a part of the butterfly effect of China's agriculture in the future. The direction of the discussion immediately changed, and many people changed their views of Xiang Yi. Most people's impression of her was rigid, and some were even just following the trend. This change might not be very thorough, but everyone now felt that the little girl gave off a rather comfortable feeling. At the recording studio, Bai Ruoruo's expression was about to collapse. She tried her best to smile. So that's how it is. Sister Xiang Yi, you know a lot. I should learn more from you in the future. After saying a few polite words, she left with the excuse of going to the washroom. Bitch. Bai Ruoruo turned on the tap and cursed in a low voice. After venting, she walked out of the washroom and saw Xiao Naofu, who was catching butterflies nearby. Her eyes flashed with ruthlessness, and she gave the little cat a fierce kick. Xiao Naofu, who was unguarded against humans, was kicked right in the face. It tumbled down the cobblestone steps several times, and the cat was in a bad state. Chapter 96. Xiao Naofu's icy blue cat eyes widened, and it looked dumbfounded. As a newbie system, it was lucky to meet Xiang Yi as its host. Xiang Yi was undoubtedly the perfect support for the transmigration world. Every time she would get the highest score and rewards, and it would also level up as if it had cheated. It could be said that Xiao Naofu hadn't experienced much of the evilness of people's hearts, and its mind was almost that of a 2- or 3-year-old kindergarten child. Meow meow. Even Shi Sui, that stinky man, didn't dare to bully it like this. It was very angry. Bai Ruoruo looked around and confirmed that there were no photographers. She sneered. Scream, keep screaming. It's useless even if you scream yourself hoarse. Xiao Naofu angrily rushed over to scratch her. Bai Ruoruo couldn't dodge in time, and several claw marks appeared on her calf. She gritted her teeth. An ugly cat dares to scratch me. You're as cheap as your owner. Xiao Naofu. Meow meow meow. It was so angry, so angry. She actually called such a handsome Hu ugly. What was even more infuriating was that she actually scolded Xiang Yi. That stupid woman. Only it could be fierce too. No one else could. So, Xiao Naofu showed her what Kung Fu Huhu was. Bai Ruoruo didn't expect the cat to be so fierce. She screamed and quickly fled to where there were people. The moment she saw Xiang Yi and the others, Bai Ruoruo felt like she had just escaped death. Woo-woo. Bai Ruoruo ran over crying, immediately attracting everyone's attention. Several photographers also aimed their cameras at her. Why are you crying? There's a dog chasing you, Xiang Yu said irritably. He was in the middle of spraying pesticides with his sister, and was interrupted by Bai Ruoruo. Of course his temper wasn't good. Bai Ruoruo grabbed the hem of her skirt. She timidly glanced at Xiangyi and quickly looked away. Her attempt to cover up only made it more conspicuous. Xiangyi, what's the matter? Maybe it was because she had seen too much of Zai Zai's acting skills, but seeing Bai Ruoruo's acting now made her feel awkward. Bai Ruoruo sobbed. Sister Xiangyi, your cat bullied me. I didn't provoke it at all, but it scratched me so many times. I heard it was a stray cat. She was crying like a pear blossom in the rain, and there were several obvious claw marks on her legs, which immediately attracted the sympathy of many netizens in the live broadcast room. So pitiful being scratched like this. That's why you can't pick up stray cats. Who knows if there are any bacteria or viruses? I'm so annoyed by those who say they want to steal cats. So what if they're cute? Could she make mistakes just because she was cute? Could she scratch people just because she was cute? Previously, Shi Yingdi was also scratched. This kind of bad-tempered wild cat should be sent to euthanasia as soon as possible. Xiangyi frowned. Are you sure that Xiao Naofu scratched you for no reason? Bai Ruoruo revealed an incredulous expression. Are you doubting me? Xiangyi said. I'll take you to treat your wound first. As for the rest, I still need to confirm. She believed that Xiao Naofu would not take the initiative to hurt others. At this moment, Xiao Naofu walked over with graceful cat-like steps, tilting its head innocently. Bai Ruoruo pointed at it. That's it. It's really it. Xiao Naofu had a frightened look on its face as it bounced behind Xiangyi's back. It used its pink and white paws to poke at Xiangyi as it cried out in an aggrieved and childish voice. Mia, it was as if they were saying, asterisk, asterisk, degree, degree, asterisk. Asterisk, that woman is so scary. She scared me. Bai Ruoruo felt as if she had been struck by lightning. She never would have thought that this cat was even better at pretending to be pitiful than her. Was this a white lotus cat? Chapter 97. Bai Ruoruo bit her lip, and her eyes turned red. Her eyes were filled with tears, and she looked particularly pitiful as if she was about to cry. It's okay. Sister Xiangyi, it's just a cat. I won't argue with it. The bullet screen was filled with comments such as, Ruoruo is so kind. I feel sorry for my sister, and so on. Enough. He picked up Xiao Naofu and gently rubbed the back of its neck. I don't believe that Xiao Naofu would scratch you for no reason. Don't slander it. Bai Ruoruo. Seeing that someone was backing him up, Xiao Naofu's cries became even more coquettish. Meow meow meow. Xiang Yu's heart instantly ached. The little kitten was so aggrieved. Baby, don't be afraid. I'm here. The netizens in the live stream room were speechless. Shocking, Smog actually called a cat a little baby. Ha ha ha, I'm laughing so hard that the voice-activated lights within a 10-mile radius will flash for me. Although Bai Ruoruo is a bit pitiful, I really want to laugh, ha ha ha. Bai Ruoruo's tears fell down. This time she was really crying from anger. Why would I lie? Can't my injuries be used as evidence? Xiang Yu hesitated. Bai Ruoruo's injury was indeed a claw mark. Meow meow. Xiao Naofu meowed even more softly and sweetly in his arms, its little pink paws timidly clutching Xiang Yu's collar. Xiang Yu lowered his head and met Xiao Naofu's watery blue eyes. Damn. How much had the kitten been bullied to show such an aggrieved expression? Xiang Yu's sense of responsibility arose spontaneously. Such a cute and pitiful Xiao Naofu, from now on, he would protect it. Okay, since you mentioned evidence, then show it to prove that Xiao Naofu scratched you. Bai Ruoruo choked with sobs. I just went to the bathroom. There were no cameras and no one else there. That means there's no evidence. Xiang Yu's eyes were unruly and unruly. Maybe another cat scratched you. There are infinite possibilities. What makes you so sure that it's Xiao Naofu's fault? Bai Ruoruo still wanted to speak, but she was interrupted by Xiang Yu, who was eager to protect the cat. Even if Xiao Naofu really scratched you, it's possible that you bullied it, and it was forced to fight back. After all, it's so weak, helpless, and pitiful. Bullying you. I think you're the one bullying it. The soft and milky kitten rubbed its furry little head against Xiang Yu's collarbone. It nestled in the man's arms and gave Bairuoro an innocent and pure expression. It seemed to be saying, "Sister, is something the matter? My brother only has eyes and heart for me, Bairuoro." She was about to vomit blood. In the past, she was the only one who pretended to be pitiful. Why was it the other way around today? Anger caused her to gradually lose her reason, and Bairuoro's emotions were on the verge of collapse. It's pretending. Can't you see that it's pretending? This cat was a white lotus, a green tea bitch. How is it pitiful? It's obviously ferocious. The next second, Xiang Yu covered Xiao Naofu's ears and raged. Can't you talk nicely? Why are you scolding it? Bairuoro looked like she had eaten a fly. At this moment, Xiang Yi's calm and gentle voice sounded. There are no cameras, but there are surveillance cameras on the farm. I can go and pull them up to see what's going on. What? There were surveillance cameras. Bairuoro was dumbfounded and wished she could faint on the spot. Chapter 98. Her plan was that Xiao Naofu couldn't speak, so she could distort the truth. But she didn't expect this cat to fight and pretend to be pitiful. It was simply a drama queen. What was even more unexpected was that there were surveillance cameras on a broken farm. If the netizens found out that she kicked Xiao Naofu first, Bairuoro trembled and began to feel afraid. There's no need for that. My injury isn't that serious, Bairuoro said stiffly. Seeing her reaction, Xiang Yi guessed that there must be something fishy. The girl's expression didn't change as she stared at her with bright eyes. How can that be? This is my family's farm. Everyone who comes is a guest. How can I let a guest be hurt and wronged? Xiang Yu hugged Xiao Naofu and shook it as if coaxing a baby to sleep. Check the surveillance cameras. Check it now. Shi Sui lowered her eyelids as a faint smile appeared in her eyes. The little rabbit was quite smart and hit the nail on the head. Bairuoro's face turned pale. How did things turn out like this? The air seemed to freeze as Bairuoro felt a burst of suffocation. The comments in the stream. Oh my God, I can feel Bairuoro's embarrassment even through the screen. Why aren't the people who sympathized with her saying anything? If she's not guilty, why would she react like this? Two Under One Roof's first Little White Flower and Green Tea Cat competition has been perfectly defeated. Winner, Xiao Naofu. At the critical moment, Li Jianyu couldn't stand it anymore and tried to smooth things over. Bairuo, did you get a heat stroke? How about I send you back to drink some Huaxiang Jingqi water first? Bairuo walked down the ladder and weakly said to the camera, I do feel a little dizzy. Li Jianyu arranged for the staff to send her back. After the live broadcast of spraying pesticides, everyone returned home. Xiang Yi took out the cold-brewed tea she had prepared in advance from the fridge. The method of making it was very simple. Soak the oolong tea in mineral water and put it in the fridge. She also pickled white peach jam, poured a cup of cold-brewed tea, and stirred it evenly. It didn't have the bitter taste of tea leaves, only a faint tea fragrance mixed with sweet jam. Tasted many times better than the drinks outside. Xiang Yu gulped down a glass of wine and poured himself another. Drink slowly, Xiang Yi reminded him in a low voice. This is very cold. Whoosh, Xiang Yu's ears twitched, and he gripped his cup tightly in excitement. My sister cares about me. He forced himself to remain calm and said coldly, Women are so long-winded. Xiang Yi. This was definitely fourth brother's childish style. She looked at the time. It was almost dinner time. Xiang Yi asked, Are we having poached fish fillets tonight? Doesn't matter. Egg fried rice. I already said it doesn't matter. Having said that, Xiang Yu's heart was already blooming with joy. Sister, good, By the way, where's Senior Shi? Xiangyi was about to ask her Zai Zai what she wanted to eat. Brother Shi. I think he went back to his room. Xiangyi didn't think much of it and went to knock on his door. Senior, what do you want to eat for dinner? Creak. The door was quickly pulled open. However, the scene in front of her made her freeze in place. Shi Sui had probably just taken a shower, as he was only wearing a pair of black casual pants. He was drying his hair with a towel in one hand. The water droplets slid down to his clear Adam's apple, then to his defined abdominal muscles, and his sinuous Apollo's belt. Everything was visible at a glance. Xiangyi. The netizens in the live stream instantly went crazy. Oh, Brother Shi, you don't treat us as outsiders. Chapter 99. Ahem. Xiangyi coughed in shock. She immediately turned around and blocked the cameraman's camera for Shi Sui. You didn't manage to capture it, did you? Li Jianyu held back his laughter. Yes, I did. It was just a few seconds, the netizens probably couldn't see it, right? The girl closed her eyes in despair, feeling extremely vexed. Little did she know that the man was putting on his shirt before opening the door. When he heard her voice, the corners of his lips curled up slightly and he casually threw his shirt aside. The comments in the live stream. Xiangyi, we saw it, we saw everything. Well done, little vase. Keep up the good work next time. I really get the charm of a mature man. His waist and abs. They're really not something that little fresh meat can compare to. Why don't we turn off the live stream for a while and let the teachers rest? Li Jianyu saw that the girl's ears were so red that they were about to bleed. He was worried that the netizens would spout nonsense again if the live stream continued. But Daddy Shi's figure is really so tempting. Amidst the wailing of the netizens, the live stream equipment was turned off. The staff also went to rest. Senior, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Xiangyi explained softly, so nervous that she didn't know where to put her hands. She pinched her fingers and rubbed the corner of her shirt. I just came to ask you what you want to eat. Oh, I see. The man dragged his words lazily and chuckled. His voice was low and hoarse. Can I order whatever I want? Xiangyi. Yes, she wanted to make up for it, but when she heard Shi Sui's words, she wished she could arrange a Manchu Han imperial banquet for him. In tutu. Ha! As he wished, he saw the girl's milky white ears dyed with an even brighter shade of crimson. The smile in Shi Sui's eyes deepened and he named a list of dishes. Spicy rabbit head. Cold rabbit. Rabbit stew. Can you make it? Xiangyi. I can, but Senior, you can't eat spicy food, right? Shi Sui raised his eyebrows and said, I can. Oh. Then let's eat the rabbit cold. We won't be able to finish it if you make too much. I'll make a mild spicy one and a spicy one. After saying that, Xiangyi couldn't wait to go to the kitchen, but a large hand grabbed her collar. Subconsciously, Xiangyi almost wanted to throw her over her shoulder. But when she realized that it was Shi Sui, she stopped and turned around in confusion. In a split second, she met Shi Sui's deep eyes, which seemed to be smiling yet not smiling. The man's hair was all pulled back, and his eyebrows and eyes were even more prominent. He had beautiful peach blossom eyes, and his eyelashes were even longer than a girl's. When he smiled, he looked affectionate and seductive. Xiangyi tried her best not to look below his collarbone, but there was a huge difference in height between them. She could only raise her small face and bite her lip nervously. You dropped your microphone. Shi Sui's voice was gentle, almost imperceptible. His slender fingers set up the microphone for Xiangyi, and he also carefully tidied up the messy wires for her. The two of them were so close that Xiangyi could even feel the moisture on his body. It was inexplicably stuffy. She looked away and even began to avoid looking at him. Thank you. You're welcome. Then I'll go and cook. Xiangyi felt that it was more polite to look at his face when greeting him. She turned her small face, but Sure Sui had lowered his head. As she moved, her lips gently brushed against his thin and obvious collarbone. The girl's body froze. A messy and unexpected ambiguity spread. Chapter 100. Xiangyi's mind was completely silent and blank. After a full 10 seconds, she came to her senses. She took a few steps back and almost fell because she was in such a hurry. I'm sorry. The girl stammered. Although she had traveled through many worlds, she had always been someone's assistant. She had never walked the emotional line and had no experience in dealing with this kind of situation. The blush spread from her ears to her slender swan neck. I didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident. How did I kiss him? How can I kiss my Zai? Sure Sui blinked. He leaned against the wall lazily, obviously in a relaxed and leisurely posture, but his expression was somewhat innocent. When the movie king acted as a naive and sweet person, he was more skillful and natural than a certain kitten. Xiangyi wanted to slip away and was about to escape, but she saw the man lowered his eyebrows, his eyelashes forming a faint shadow on his cold and handsome face. His voice was hoarse and tinged with grievance. You kissed me. This shouldn't be considered a kiss. The girl swallowed her saliva and said cautiously. The man acted as if he didn't hear, his clear and clean voice faintly resentful. No girl has ever kissed me. Xiangyi remembered that when he had just debuted, he had been criticized by the industry for refusing to act in emotional scenes. They said that he was not dedicated enough as an actor. Of course, Sure Sui later used his own acting skills to shut all those who questioned him. Xiangyi thought that he had never acted in emotional scenes on the screen, but he should have done it in real life. After all, he was 27 years old. It was normal for a normal man to have a few love experiences at this age. She suddenly felt a strong sense of guilt. Xiangyi stuttered for a long time, but in the end she still apologized. I'm sorry. The man raised his head and forced a smile. It's nothing. You don't have to take it to heart. It was just an accident. I'm also at fault. The more he said this, the more Xiangyi blamed herself. How could she not take it to heart? She had kissed Zai's collarbone. Zai didn't do anything wrong. Not at all. It's all my fault. Xiangyi had yet to realize that she had successfully fallen into the trap of a certain black and white actor. Senior, if there's anything you want to eat in the future, just tell me. I'll definitely make it for you. Sure Sui looked down at him, her eyes gentle and innocent. Really? Is this compensation? This is what I should do. Xiangyi laughed dryly. Then I'll go cook. This time, Sure Sui didn't stop her. Instead, he stared at the girl's slender back as she entered the kitchen. Only then did the corners of his mouth curl up. It was quite interesting to play with children. In the kitchen, Xiangyi was preparing the ingredients. He sliced the fish cleanly and neatly. After removing the fish bones, the thin fish fillet glowed with a crystal clear and moist feeling. Discordant cries suddenly fell upon her ears. Where's Xiangyi? Where was she? I want to see her. Now immediately. Xiangyi frowned slightly, wiped her hands, and walked out of the kitchen. The living room was a mess at this moment. Xiao Yang was dressed in a formal suit and his hair was combed into a shiny back. He looked like he had come from a banquet. To be fair, his facial features were considered handsome. Dressed like this, he looked like a rich young master. When he saw Xiangyi, Xiao Yang, who had been babbling non-stop, suddenly shut up and stared straight at her. Why did this woman look like she had plastic surgery? She was too beautiful. Why don't I reluctantly reconcile with her? Chapter 101. Recalling the delicacies Xiangyi had made during the live broadcast, and then looking at her face that was still beautiful without makeup, Xiao Yang's heart began to waver. Bai Ruoruo heard the commotion and came out of the room. Seeing Xiao Yang looking at Xiangyi with infatuation, her heart thumped. She quickly stepped forward and grabbed his arm, calling softly, "Brother Xiaoyang." Xiaoyang came back to his senses and coughed. "Roro, I heard you were injured, so I came to see you." "Brother, you're so busy, yet you still took the time to see me. Isn't it too hard?" Roro said gently. She knew Xiaoyang liked this the most. But today, Xiaoyang didn't greet her like he usually did. Instead, he looked at Xiangyi. "Come here, I have something to say to you." Xiangyi raised an eyebrow. Wasn't the money from last time enough? It would have been better if she didn't mention it. Now that she did, Xiaoyang suddenly remembered the 2 million from that day. This woman was simply humiliating him. "Who cares about your stinky money?" Xiaoyang roared. "Who the f***ck are you yelling at? Try saying another word." Xiangyu opened his mouth as fiercely as a bandit. Xiaoyang didn't know about his relationship with Xiangyi and said with a sense of superiority, "I'm talking to my girlfriend, it's none of your business." Roro whispered, "It's an ex-girlfriend." Shui, who was sitting on the sofa, narrowed her eyes slightly. Xiangyu looked at his sister with an expression of disbelief. Even Xiangyi could guess what he was thinking. "Look at your eyes. How did you find such a thing as your boyfriend?" She was slightly embarrassed. Although this boyfriend was the one who had taken over her body, she was the one who took the blame. Sighing, Xiangyi asked, "If you have something to say, just say it." Xiaoyang, "Apologize to Roro. Your cat bullied her and you bullied her. I'm here to support Roro." Xiangyi slowly typed out a question mark. For a moment, she didn't know who was more brainless, him or the one who had taken over her body. She didn't know who was the scumbag between the two. Xiangyi, who had transmigrated through countless worlds, naturally wouldn't get angry over such a trivial matter. She lazily crossed her arms and sat on the sofa, crossing her slender white legs. She lightly clicked her tongue and said, "Okay, tell me, how did I bully her?" Xiaoyang was speechless. He suddenly felt that Xiangyi's sitting posture was. He was a big shot. He obviously liked the delicate and innocent type, but when he saw Xiangyi's face, his heart started to beat wildly. He calmed himself down and said confidently, "Don't think that I don't know that you're just jealous that Ruo and I are together. That's why you deliberately targeted her. You embarrassed her in front of so many people during the live broadcast. That's equivalent to slapping my face. You have to sincerely apologize." Xiangyi propped her elbow on the armrest and held her small face with one hand. Her eyebrows were slightly curved. "What if I don't apologize?" The girl's bright smile was more dazzling than the sea of flowers outside the floor-to-ceiling window. Xiaoyang's heart was like fireworks, exploding non-stop. He swallowed his saliva and unconsciously lost his momentum. "It's fine if you don't apologize. I don't think you did it on purpose." By Ruoruo. She came to find Xiaoyang to settle accounts with Xiangyi. According to Xiangyi's personality in the past, she would definitely lose her temper again. She didn't know that the more she did, the more Xiaoyang hated her. But today Xiangyi was so arrogant. Why was Xiaoyang so mesmerized? Where did this woman go to sign up for a vixen training course? Chapter 102. Uft. Xiangyi couldn't help but laugh out loud. She hooked her finger at him. "Come here." The girl's smile was sweet and beautiful, and Xiaoyang's heartbeat began to accelerate again. What's going on? Is this the feeling of being in love? "Brother Xiaoyang." Ruoruo panicked and weakly leaned against him. Xiaoyang didn't care about her at all and trotted forward to Xiangyi. Ruoruo, who almost missed him. Xiaoyang cleared his throat and said condescendingly, "If you want to get back together, I can consider giving you a chance." F***ck. Xiangyu exploded on the spot. "Who do you think you are to treat her like this?" Although he didn't like this man, if his sister really liked him, he could endure it. But he dared to treat her sister badly. Endure. Endure my ass. I can't endure it. Xiangyi raised her hand and motioned for him to be quiet. She smiled at Xiaoyang. I see that you're so handsome, tall, and have a good personality. In a few words, Xiao Yong was praised to the heavens. He thought to himself, this woman must love me to death, but then he heard a sweet and gentle inquiry. Then, do you know how to kill rabbits? Do you know how to skin them? Do you know how to gut them? Xiao Yong. Xiang Yu. By Ruoruo. Not far away, Shi Sui seemed to understand something. Her lips hooked up. You can't even do that. Xiao Yong couldn't stand this provocation and shouted. Who said I can't? Isn't it just killing rabbits? Half an hour later, Xiao Yong was vomiting in the bathroom. Fortunately, the rabbits were killed, and Xiangyi had Xiao Yong wash the meat clean. Her zodiac was rabbit, and her nickname was Tutu. She usually didn't kill them herself, but Tutu was naturally freshly killed to taste delicious, so Xiao Yong, a tool that came to her door, was a waste not to use him. Just then, the live broadcast began. Li Jianyu personally brought old Li over to film Xiangyi cooking. He had already accepted the setting of cooking when it was time. The netizens in the live stream flooded in, and their enthusiasm was amazing. Ah, Tutu is so cute, you died so happily. Cough, so pitiful. Little Vase's knife skills are amazing. How can the fish fillet be so thin? Sister E, slow down. I'll bring my bowl over first. The person in front is obviously inexperienced. Dinner, fruits, and snacks have already been prepared. It's time for the mukbang. The rabbit meat was cut into small pieces so that it would be easier for the flavor to enter. After adding cooking wine, green pepper, star anise, chives, and sliced ginger to marinate, Xiangyi began to prepare another poached fish fillet. She placed the thinly sliced fish fillets into boiling water until they were half-cooked, then placed them into a soup bowl covered with a layer of cooked bean sprouts, tofu, and shredded konjac. She heated up the oil, then added pepper, chili, and other spices to fry them until they were fragrant. Finally, she poured the hot oil over the ingredients. The temperature of the oil was extremely high, and it would cook the ingredients a second time, creating a unique and spicy taste. At the same time, the rabbit meat was almost done marinating. She added a large amount of rapeseed oil and quickly stir-fried it. Then she added small pieces of dried chili and handmade chili powder, supplemented with white sugar, MSG, balsamic vinegar, and other spices to slowly reduce the flavor. When it was placed on a plate, there was even a sizzling sound. Both dishes were spicy. The chili was bright red, the fish was white, and the rabbit meat was golden yellow. It was very visually pleasing. Gulp! Li Jianyu and the others began to gulp. Xiao Yong, who was in the living room, couldn't sit still. How can it be so fragrant? I must eat 2 bowls of rice later. Chapter 103. In the kitchen. Xiang Yi cooked another plate of egg-fried rice and 2 vegetarian dishes. When she was done, she poked her head out of the kitchen. The food is ready, come and serve it. Xiao Yong was the first to rush over. I'll do it, I'll do it. He quickly began to roll up his sleeves, completely forgetting the purpose of his visit. There was only one thought in his mind, eat. The comments in the stream. Where did this person come from? He's a bit good-looking, but why is he so oily at such a young age? Isn't this Bairuoro's boyfriend? He seems to be a rich young master from a wealthy family. So he's here to accompany Bairuoro? He seems quite warm. When Xiao Yong took the initiative to serve all the dishes and everyone was about to eat, they suddenly heard Xiangyi's surprised voice. Mr. Xiao, aren't you leaving? Xiao Yong froze. The girl blinked innocently. I didn't say I wanted you to stay for dinner. Xiao Yong. And Miss Bai, tonight's dishes are high in calories and not suitable for someone like you who's on a diet. Here I've prepared your diet meal. Xiangyi slowly pushed over a plate of boiled broccoli and 2 egg whites. By Ruoruo. The people who hated Xiangyi in the comments were extremely excited, thinking they had caught her in the act. What kind of hospitality is this? She's already finished cooking and she's chasing her away. I can't stand you guys calling her a little vase. Is she worthy? She's just an actress who relies on her face to make a living. The vase fairy was probably the kind of person who bullied others when she was a student. Look at how much she's targeting by Ruoruo. She won't even let her eat, that's too much. Xiao Yang's face alternated between green and white. The aroma of the delicious dishes on the table rushed to his nose, but his heart was filled with regret. It was all his fault. He had hurt Xiangyi's heart. His eyes were filled with pain. Xiangyi, I know I was wrong. Can you forgive me? Xiangyi called Shi Sui and Xiangyu to eat first and asked with a smile, what did you do wrong? When Xiao Yang saw her smile, his soul almost left his body. I shouldn't have cheated on you. I shouldn't have been with Bai Ruoruo and hurt your heart. Bai Ruoruo's face instantly turned pale. She grabbed Xiao Yang's arm. Brother Xiao Yang, don't joke around. Xiao Yang pushed her away and said sternly, it's all your fault. If you hadn't seduced me, would I have betrayed Xiangyi? You should sincerely apologize to Xiangyi for ruining our relationship. Xiangyi. Very well, it has been confirmed that he is a brainless person. Bai Ruoruo burst into tears. This was a live broadcast. Xiao Yang's words would ruin her. In the live stream, the audience was dumbfounded. F***ck. So Xiao Yang dated the vase fairy and cheated on Bai Ruoruo. Ugh, I thought he was a nice guy, but I didn't expect him to be such a scumbag. He said such things on the live stream. Not only did he morally kidnap Xiangyi, but he also ruthlessly ruined Bai Ruoruo. Too scary. If I met a man like him, I would die from anger. On the side, Xiangyu was suddenly enraged. Why don't you take a look in the mirror? How dare you cheat on her? Xiao Yang was moved by his heartfelt confession. He looked at Xiangyi expectantly. A prodigal son turning over a new leaf is more precious than gold. Baby, can you give me a chance? Xiangyu said angrily. Are you worthy of calling her baby? Who do you think you are? Xiao Yang said unhappily. And who are you? He had already insulted him twice today. It was as if he had eaten a firecracker. Xiangyu slammed the table, and the dishes on the table shook, splashing out bits and pieces of soup. Who am I? I'm her brother. Brother. Chapter 104. As the young esports god's voice fell, the scene fell silent, and the comments in the live stream seemed to have frozen. 1 second, 2 seconds. Boom, the netizens in the live stream exploded. What the F***ck? Brother. Smog and the vase fairy are siblings. In reality, Xiao Yang was stunned for a few seconds, and his face changed faster than flipping through a book. He smiled apologetically. So it's my brother-in-law. Sorry for the disrespect. Let me toast you, brother-in-law. Brother-in-law was how Nanqing addressed his wife's brother. Xiangyu started to trash talk as soon as he heard that. Do you think you're making keys? Do you deserve it? What do you deserve? Xiangyi covered his mouth in time and said seriously, brother will be banned from the live stream if he swears. Sensing his anger, the girl coaxed softly. Brother, don't pay attention to him. He's not worth your anger. The esports god, who had been fuming just now, calmed down in a second and looked at the girl in front of him in disbelief. Ah! My sister called me brother. She even called him twice. Twice. He calmed down and said in what he thought was a cold voice, tell him to get lost. Little did he know that the corners of his mouth were about to reach his ears. Xiao Yang was still thinking about the food and hurriedly said, even if we don't get back together, at least let me eat a bowl of rice. I killed the rabbit. You still want to eat my sister's cooking? You don't deserve it. Xiangyu was irritable again, and he zipped up his sweatshirt, looking like he was about to fight. Xiangyi calmly pressed on a certain acupuncture point on his arm. Xiangyu didn't know why, but he suddenly felt like he couldn't exert any strength. He looked at Xiangyi in confusion, and the girl returned him a gentle and warm smile. Brother, you're right. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't deserve my cooking, and he doesn't deserve your hands. She gestured in the direction of the garden. The next second, a few bodyguards dressed in black appeared out of nowhere and carried Xiaoyang out of the room. They did not even bother to say a single word. Xiaoyang. Hey, let go of me. I order you to let go of me, do you hear me? Shangyi, how can you do this to me? I haven't even had a bite of rice yet. The live stream was instantly filled with laughter. This scumbag doesn't look very smart. He's still thinking about food at a time like this. Ha ha ha, this means that our sister Yi's cooking is really good. Awesome. How satisfying. You have to be quick, accurate, and ruthless when dealing with scumbags. Don't give him a chance to disgust you. She actually has bodyguards. Sorry, I underestimated the little vase's family background. Uzi. Xiaoyang was thrown out of the manor. The entire world fell silent. The only person who felt like she was sitting on pins and needles was Bairoro. Her eyes were shockingly red, and her lips moved as if she wanted to say something, but not a single syllable came out. The others, on the other hand, were eating very happily. The cold-eating rabbit was crispy on the outside and tender on the inside. The oil flowed out with every bite, and the spicy taste permeated every bit of the meat. Shangyi made 2 plates, one of which was spicy and suitable for Xiangyu. He ate until he was sweating profusely. The other plate was slightly spicy and was for sure Sui. The man slowly tasted it, his noble and handsome appearance as if he was tasting a Michelin restaurant. The boiled fish fillet was smooth and tender, and it melted in the mouth. The bean sprouts, shredded konjac, and other vegetables inside were blanched in hot oil and chili, melting the freshness of the fish. With each bite of meat and vegetables, the wonderful taste slowly spread. Her taste buds felt like they would explode in the next second, constantly secreting saliva. Actually, I was also deceived by Xiaoyang. After holding it in for a long time, Bairoro finally managed to squeeze out this sentence. Xiangyi didn't even raise her eyes as she lightly said, I won't pursue this matter. However, I checked the surveillance footage, and it was you who kicked Xiao Naofu first. Bairoro's back went cold, and she immediately felt extremely wronged. Didn't she just kick that stray cat? Why was she so calculative? Chapter 105. The comment section of the live stream once again went into a frenzy. Bairoro kicked Xiao Naofu? Is she crazy? I say. Xiao Naofu looks so obedient, how could it scratch someone for no reason? Why didn't the people who were shouting about euthanizing Xiao Naofu in the afternoon come out to dance? Their faces must have been smashed to smithereens. Actually, Bairoro is also. Forget it, I can't wash it off. I'm no longer a fan. A mistress abusing a cat, even if I'm retarded, I'll still be her fan. Xiangyu rubbed Xiao Naofu with heartache. Xiao Naofu was possessed by a coquettish spirit as it nestled in his arms. It doesn't hurt, it doesn't hurt. Let's eat something delicious later, okay? Bairoro was extremely aggrieved as she complained. But it still scratched me. It's clearly your cat's fault. Xiangyi frowned. I think you've got the cause and effect wrong. You kicked Xiao Naofu first, which was why it acted in self-defense. Bairoro hated her to death. It was just a cat, how could it be compared to a human? Of course she could kick Xiao Naofu, but it was wrong for it to scratch her. I understand, so I'm not even as good as a cat. Bairoro was on the verge of tears. Her eyes were red as she looked at Shui. There was still a glimmer of hope in her heart. No matter what, she was still in the same company as Shui. As someone who took care of his juniors, he wouldn't leave her alone, right? The man raised his eyes and met her gaze. His eyes were like the cold moonlight on the horizon. His thin lips parted slightly as he indifferently said, Apologize. Bairoro felt as if she had been struck by lightning. Apologize. To Xiao Naofu. That was ridiculous. It's just a cat. Bairuoro had just said this when she heard Sher Sui ask coldly, "You only kicked the cat?" That voice was wrapped in an invisible and powerful aura that enveloped Bairuoro. She trembled slightly as she remembered the words she had said to Xiangyi. But, didn't surveillance cameras generally not have sound capture? The next second, she heard Sher Sui calmly say, "Little Rabbit Farm surveillance cameras are equipped with sound capture." In other words, the cameras had sound. Bairuoro's eyes widened in horror. In the live stream, "Oh my God, there's solid evidence. So it's not just cat abuse? Did he do anything else?" He's probably scolding someone, and it's very likely that he's scolding Sister E. Otherwise, Sher Ingdi wouldn't be so angry. Fan of the vase fairy in front, get lost. Our Sher Ingdi won't look at your girl, okay? To be honest, it's so insulting to couple Miss Xiang and Sher Sui together. Sher Sui is a true best actor, but what does Miss Xiang have? The acting skills of pouting and glaring, or the singing skills of angering 10 sound reviewers to death? Bairuoro knew that there was no chance of a comeback. She could only harden her heart and cut off all means of retreat. "Okay, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. It's all my fault." As she spoke, tears streamed down her face, as if she had been greatly wronged. I'll go, okay? I don't want to be an eyesore to you." She paused for a few seconds, but the surroundings were silent. Something awkward happened. No one asked her to stay, including all the staff of Two Under One Roof. Xiangyi would make afternoon tea or sugar water for everyone every day. And Xiao Naofu was so cute. They might not have as much influence as Bairuoro as an artist, but they had the heart. Finally Li Jianyu spoke. "Okay, take care. We won't see you out." Bairuoro left stiffly. The moment she walked out the door, she burst into tears. This time her mentality had completely collapsed. Chapter 106. As soon as Bairuoro left, the atmosphere at the dinner table suddenly became very harmonious. Xiang Yu's slender white fingers rubbed Xiao Naofu's round belly as he secretly glanced at Xiangyi. Sensing his gaze, Xiangyi blinked and asked, "What's wrong, big bro?" "Ow! Did you hear that? Little sis calls me big bro so sweetly." He pretended to be cold and arrogant like a big boss. "Go, get big bro a bowl of rice." If this had happened in the Xiang family in the past, if he dared to order Xiangyi around like this, the family's sister-spoiling demons would have broken his legs. But today's Xiang Yu was Nyanhila's Xiang Yu. 2 words. Inflated. Xiangyi smiled, indulging his childishness and willfulness as she obediently went to get him a bowl of egg-fried rice. Xiang Yu couldn't suppress the corners of his mouth. After tasting a mouthful of egg-fried rice, his eyes lit up and he instantly buried his face in it. He especially liked to eat rice. Xiangyi's egg-fried rice was soft and chewy. In addition to egg, she also added shrimp, ham and peas. Not only was it rich in color, but it also had a rich texture. The live comments, "Smog is so childish, ha ha ha, but I think he's so cute." Sameo-gu, a heartless eating machine. Did anyone notice that the little vase has never served Sher Ingdi a bowl of rice? Now that you mention it, it's true. Sher Ingdi has always served himself. What's with the vase fairy's attitude? Did you guys forget the hot post about the little vase snubbing Sher Ingdi? Yesterday, Sher Sui's sister, short for Sher Sui's fans, are still being stubborn, but it's obvious that your Sher Ingdi took the initiative to stick close to the little vase. Even if the little vase wasn't cold to him, she was still very polite and distant, okay? The netizens each brought their own magnifying glasses, and some even seemed to have brought a microscope. Soon, a post on the well-known gossip forum Melon went viral. Title: "Every day I find candy in the glass shards of the untimely CP CAC." Main post content: "Greetings, Melon friends. I'm the OP of the previous post, taking stock of the famous scenes where Sher Ingdi was neglected. After watching the live broadcast of Two Under One Roof for 2 days, She had replayed countless clips of Shuringdi and Sister E in the same frame. To be honest, the two of them were too evasive. They were so polite that it was as if they were in an etiquette class. They were constantly saying thank you for your hard work. Sister E had been calling Shuringdi senior up until now. The more polite she was, the more it meant that there wasn't much progress in their relationship. It was even possible that they were just being polite on the surface for participating in the show. But the sugar in the glass shards was really sweet. Sister E gave Shuringdi a little flower. Shuringdi put on glasses for Sister E. The scene of the two of them cooking together in the kitchen, living a peaceful life. There was also Sister E on the swing. His gentle gaze beside her could make me kowtow 100 times. I recommend watching it repeatedly. Just now for Sister E. He tore the little white flower apart. Okay, it's an exaggeration to say that he tore it apart, but he did speak up for Sister E. I don't care, I'm just protecting Sister E. As a CP fan, I don't ask for anything else. I just want Sister E and Shuringdi to be a little bit better. Online beautiful. JPG. As soon as the post was posted, it attracted the dissatisfaction of Shursue's sisters. OP, have you watched too many idol dramas? What's wrong with a lovey-dovey person like you? Haha, the OP might as well say that Shursue is licking the vase fairy's boots. You must have received a lot of PR fees, right? He's hopeless. Take him away. Next. I'll say it again. It's impossible between Shursue and the vase fairy. Chapter 107. At the same time, another OP had also posted a post. Title: I'm shocked. When I was writing a paper, I found an SCI paper by a certain female celebrity. The main post. OP is a graduate student in agriculture, majoring in resource utilization and plant protection. Recently, I've been going bald over my thesis every day. This afternoon I found an amazing article. Firstly, it's really well written, and secondly, it has great reference value for my thesis. At that time, my roommate happened to be watching Two Under One Roof to relieve stress and overheard Xiangyi's speech about how agriculture is the foundation of the country and agriculture is the priority. At that time, I thought that the celebrities in the entertainment industry were quite good. Then, I accidentally saw that the name of the paper was also Xiangyi. At that time, I thought that it might be someone else with the same name. Then, I looked at the school, which was one of the top 2 universities in the country. Out of curiosity, I couldn't help but check it out. Now, the case has finally been solved. That's right, the paper was really written by that female celebrity. Xiangyi. I also found the topics she worked on during her undergraduate studies. How should I put it? She's at a level that I can't reach. Perhaps many people don't know much about SCI papers, but I'll give you the most common example. Publishing an article is no less significant than winning a gold medal in an international sports competition. The OP is in a trance now. Female celebrities in the entertainment industry are so amazing these days. I feel like I don't deserve to be in the scientific research field anymore. Smiley face angle. Under the first few dozen replies to the post were all question marks. Are you kidding me? You're telling me that Vase Fairy can publish an SCI paper? I'm dying of laughter. You're just bragging, aren't you? If you're so amazing, why did you enter the entertainment industry? The OP didn't debate with the netizens. Instead, he posted a link to the paper. The netizens opened the link to see that it was an all-English website. The terminology used in the article was very professional, but the name of the paper? It was really Xiangyi. The Melon forum was in an uproar, and countless posts popped up like mushrooms after a rain. The sensation level was even greater than that of a certain popular male idol's official relationship announcement not long ago. At the Xiang family's manor, the live broadcast was still ongoing. When they were almost done eating, Xiangyi got up and was about to wash the dishes when she heard a yell from the ground. Put it down! The girl shuddered in shock. Ahem! Xiangyu cleared his throat uncomfortably. Sit here obediently. We don't have the rule of letting girls do the dishes. Xiangyi's heart slightly moved. She vaguely felt that her brother's attitude towards her had changed. Was he finally willing to accept her again? The girl stared at Xiangyu in a daze, her eyes hazy with a trace of moisture. She was not a weak person. On the contrary, when she was about to cross worlds to complete her mission, she was very strong and determined. But perhaps everyone had a soft spot in their hearts. That was a person's weak spot and also a person's reverse scale. Family was Xiangyi's biggest weakness. Because she had been treated with gentleness and love, she was able to persevere through countless times of despair. She moved her face away and said in a nasal voice, "Brother, you're so nice." Xiangyu was overjoyed by the compliment and whistled as he went to wash the dishes. The trolls appeared again. "I can't stand it, the vase fairy is so lazy. There are so many bowls and you're letting your brother do it alone. Can an esports player do something as menial as washing the dishes? She's too delicate. Isn't it just washing a few bowls? What's wrong with girls doing more work? She doesn't know how to be considerate at all." Chapter 108. However, they had underestimated the number of Xiangyi's fans. As soon as these comments were posted, they were immediately rebutted. Some were irritable and angry. "Damn it! Who's been cooking for the past 2 days? Doesn't it take much effort to cook? You guys are the only ones with mouths. Get lost." Some yin-yang masters were infuriating. "It can't be helped. She just has her brother doting on her. Hee, what else can some people do other than be jealous?" There were also the largest number of foodie fans. "She cooks so well. Aren't you guys having fun watching her cooking as if it's a mukbang? You're the best at finding fault in everything you do, right?" The haters were dumbfounded. Since when did the vase fairy have so many fans? What was even more embarrassing was, Xiangyu carried the bowls, chopsticks and plates to the kitchen, then calmly and pretentiously, he put them into the dishwasher. The netizens were speechless. "Master, I'm enlightened. No wonder the production team didn't film the scene of the dishwashing. This is a face-slapping variety show, right? They specialize in slapping the haters. If you don't behave, I'll slap your face until it's swollen. Ha 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 ha, I'm imagining the scene of the little vase washing the dishes like Cinderella. Sorry to disturb you, you're indeed a rich and beautiful lady. Hey, this dishwasher is not bad. Does anyone know what brand it is? It just so happens that my new house is renovating and I'm about to install a dishwasher." On this day, the sales of a certain dishwasher brand's online store suddenly skyrocketed. When the owner received the news, he was still a little confused. His dishwasher was made in China. It was of good quality and durable. Unfortunately, there had been no market for it in the country, and its sales were basically monopolized by several large imported brands. He had also thought about doing advertising, but after asking around, he realized that even an internet celebrity's Weibo advertisement could cost a 6-figure sum, not to mention TV commercials and agent fees for live streaming. Hence, the matter of advertising was put on hold. Fortunately, because of the good reputation of the product, he had accumulated some fans and his online store's business was doing well. However, it was only doing well. However, today's sales were several times higher than last month's. After finding out the reason, the boss was moved and excited. He trembled as he typed on his phone for a long time. On his Weibo account, which only had less than 2,000 followers, he sent a thank you letter to Two Under One Roof and Xiangyi. Zijingjing dishwasher. Thank you so much Two Under One Roof v Xiangyi V's publicity. Although it's not easy to produce local products should be self-reliant. Although we really want to sponsor your program, we are unfortunately short on funds. We would like to express our gratitude to your program and Miss Xiangyi. On behalf of the Clean and Dishwasher Company, we would also like to donate 100,000 yuan to charity and bear the social responsibility that a company should have. It was a screenshot of a donation. Usually, no one would care about the Weibo posts made by this account. However, because of the keywords Two Under One Roof and Xiangyi, the number of views increased rapidly, and many netizens also reposted it. I just placed an order, I hope the quality won't disappoint me. The boss is so simple. Directly donating money is too practical. Ha ha ha, Xiangyi, this female celebrity, is really amazing. On the first day of the live stream, she was selling clothes and hair clips, and now she's selling dishwasher products. Naive. In the past 2 days, 2 under one roof has sold out like hotcakes in Taobao. There's also the takeout industry. Basically, whatever Sister E makes, the takeout products become popular. Feel the sales volume of our cold rabbit and poached fish slices. That netizen posted 2 pictures of the takeout platform. The sales volume of 999 plus was simply terrifying. Can On Wan have 99 plus comments? For all, good night. Chapter 109. In addition to the netizens who were shocked by Xiangyi's ability to promote goods, many brands also began to pay more or less attention to Xiangyi. That night, countless netizens were like squid in a melon field, jumping up and down to surf the internet. The next day, the sun rose from the east and the morning light was faint. Li Jianyu got up early and was ready to go for a jog. Yesterday, 2 under one roof ranked first among the variety shows in terms of viewership. Even though the fans of the various guests of Heartbeat were crazy, it was still difficult to reverse the decline. Previously, the senior executives of Muyao TV contacted him one after another to ask him to return. Li Jianyu rejected them all. The peach leaves are sharp and the willow leaves cover the sky. While humming a tune, he inadvertently saw Xiangyi in the garden. The girl was dressed in a pink and white sportswear and had no makeup on, but she was still as beautiful as ever. However, is she practicing Taiji fist? Li Jianyu scratched his head and couldn't stop the question marks from popping out. I feel that teacher Xiangyi has health habits that don't match her age. The girl's movements were soft and casual, and there was an inexplicable light rhythm to her movements. Li Jianyu couldn't help but be fascinated by her. Director Li, good morning. Xiangyi saw him and took the initiative to greet him. Good morning, teacher Xiangyi. Li Jianyu couldn't help but gossip. Are you practicing kung fu? Xiangyi smiled. I'm just exercising to strengthen my body. Li Jianyu let out a long "oh," thinking that it made sense. How could a young girl know kung fu? It was probably just a hobby. He stretched his muscles and ran around the manor. When he came back, he habitually glanced at Xiangyi, only to find that she's practicing swordsmanship. Li Jianyu almost fell flat on his face. His pupils were dilated. The fair and delicate girl was holding a quaint long sword. Her swordsmanship was similar to Taiji fist, which had the characteristics of being both in form and spirit. It was also ethereal and elegant, with an emphasis on intent rather than gravity. With a light flick of her wrist, she made a beautiful sword move. The blade glowed with a cold light and made a buzzing sound. Li Jianyu was speechless. *CK. If this isn't kung fu, then what is? Teacher Xiangyi, King call this strengthening the body. Forgive me for being blunt, but if this sword of yours comes over, my entire body will be gone. Xiangyi sheathed her sword and breathed in and out. She found that not only had Li Jianyu stopped running, but he also had a dull look on his face. She tilted her head and asked, Director Li, I'm going to make breakfast. Is there anything you want to eat? Li Jianyu took 2 steps back. Teacher Xiangyi, you're too courteous. He was trembling, but he immediately regretted his words. He changed his words and said, No, no, no. Master Xiangyi, how could I trouble you with something as trivial as breakfast? I'll do it. I'll order takeout. I'll treat everyone to a meal. Xiangyi, you, Master. Director Li, are you all right? Damn, why are you calling him Director Li? You can just call me Xiao Li. Xiangyi's milky white face was filled with confusion. It was very confusing. Chapter 110. Director Li, Have you been stimulated by something? Or are you sick? Why don't I take your pulse and make you some medicinal cuisine? The girl suggested in a gentle voice. She held the long sword in her other hand, scaring Li Jianyu into retreating frantically. Xiangyi realized something and explained, "Don't be nervous, it's not sharpened yet." Whoosh, she pulled out the sword and wanted Li Jianyu to see it clearly, but the man was so scared that he screamed. He caught a glimpse of a figure from the corner of his eye and pounced on it without hesitation. Shi Sui, who had woken up early to train, calmly dodged the large human pendant that suddenly appeared. "Good morning." He looked at Xiangyi and smiled. "Good morning, Senior," Xiangyi said helplessly. "Senior, please take a look for Director Li. My sword really isn't sharpened yet." "Me see." Shi Sui stepped forward casually. "Daddy, sure." Li Jianyu watched as Shi Sui approached Xiangyi and picked up her long sword to examine it. "It's quite heavy," he commented and brandished the sword casually. "Li Jianyu, why do you know it too?" Xiangyi, "Huh. Senior, have you learned swordsmanship before?" "I learned a little when I was filming." Shi Sui's tone was gentle. She glanced at Li Jianyu and said, "Ignore him, he's just a hamster. He's easily frightened. I don't know how he made up his mind to resign." Li Jianyu smiled and touched his head. If it weren't for his personality, he wouldn't have wasted so many years at Muyao TV. "Well, since the two teachers are here, let's confirm the time and duration of the live broadcast. Yesterday, our program team discussed the idea of live broadcasting for the whole day on Saturday and Sunday, and about 2 hours on weeknights." He accidentally made eye contact with Xiangyi. Li Jianyu shuddered. "Course, that's just our idea. Teacher Shi Sui. Master Xiangyi, if you two have any opinions, we can adjust it flexibly. 2 under one roof must be the most humble program team in history." Xiangyi. "I do." Li Jianyu. "Please go ahead. Don't call me master." Pondering for a long time, Li Jianyu asked cautiously, "Then should I call you Big Boss?" "Whatever." Shi Sui chuckled. Li Jianyu picked up his phone and ordered takeout. The staff members woke up one after another. Everyone woke up earlier than usual. The reason was none other than that he was looking forward to teacher Xiangyi's breakfast. In the end, what she received was takeout ordered by the director. "Everyone." That's it. Li Jianyu cleared his throat and said in a dignified manner, "Teacher Xiangyi works so hard, how can we let her make breakfast for us every day? We have to learn to earn our own living, do you understand?" Everyone seemed to understand, but not fully. They nodded in a daze and then ate. In fact, Li Jianyu was quite generous. The breakfast he ordered was very sumptuous, but everyone felt that. No soul. Hey, look at the trending searches. Teacher Xiangyi actually occupies 3 spots in the top 10. Hashtag Xiangyi's SCI thesis hashtag. Hashtag Xiangyi's dishwasher hashtag, just these 2. I just clicked on them. Teacher Xiangyi is really amazing. So is that untimely couple who's 3rd on the trending searches. A few minutes later. I feel like I've opened the door to a new world. Teacher Xiangyi and Teacher Shi Sui? Can these two be a couple? Just as everyone was gossiping, someone reminded them. Shi Sui's agent is here. Chapter 111. The noisy gazebo fell silent for a second. Everyone was scared but curious at the same time. They all looked at the newcomer. A black Audi was parked at the entrance of the manor. A very elite-looking man got out of the car. He was dressed in a strict black suit and rimless glasses. Compared to an artist in the entertainment industry, he looked more like a financial tycoon in an investment bank. Si Chuan Bai, a well-known agent in the entertainment industry. He was ruthless and swift in his actions. He had single-handedly made several superstars famous. As he passed by the gazebo, he adjusted his glasses and nodded slightly at everyone. Everyone hurriedly greeted him. "Good morning, Mr. C." "Hello, Mr. C." "Mr. C, Shi Ingdi is in the living room." "Si Chuan Bai." "Thank you." After he walked away, everyone felt relieved. Oh my God. Mr. C's aura is even stronger than the overbearing CO. At the same time, in the living room, Xiangyi's agent, Anan, was slurping down beef brisket rice noodles. The beef brisket had been simmered overnight. It was soft and fragrant, and when he bit into it, the rich gravy would splash out. The fine rice noodles made from high-quality white sticky rice had a clear and sweet taste. Nan couldn't stop eating when paired with a few side dishes. Shi Sui ate the noodles slowly. He didn't seem to be picky at all. No matter what Xiangyi cooked, he would eat it happily. As for Xiangyu, he was a standard night owl and was still asleep. Xiangyi had left some food for him. Another bowl. Nan couldn't help but burp. Xiangyi laughed. "You'll get indigestion if you continue eating." Nan looked at her eagerly. Xiangyi shook her head and scooped half a bowl of rice noodles for him. The door of the villa wasn't closed. Si Chuan Bai, who was at the door, saw this scene. He couldn't help but think of the post on the melon forum. His eyebrows twitched violently and he raised his hand to knock on the door. The three people at the dining table looked in the direction of the sound. Shi Sui asked in a natural tone, "Have you had breakfast?" Si Chuan Bai said indifferently, "I need to talk to you." Shi Sui wiped the corners of his mouth. He stood up and followed Si Chuan Bai to the balcony. Anan's eyes were filled with yearning. "So this is a gold medal manager. He looks so high-class. Woo-woo, his hair is so lush, and his briefcase is made of rare leather." "Xiangyi, this focus is very Anan. A top manager?" she asked. Anan explained. Si Chuan Bai's business ability is really strong. He doesn't hesitate to tear up resources. Most importantly, he has a good eye for talent. He was the one who saved Shi Ingdi back then. Save? Xiangyi wanted to ask for more details, but Xiao Naofu jumped into her arms and rubbed against her fingertips. It even took the initiative to expose its soft white belly to Xiangyi. The girl said seriously, "No, there's a lot of seasoning in the beef brisket. You might have a stomachache if you eat it." "Meow. Just one. One piece." Xiangyi hesitated for a moment, but she really couldn't resist Xiao Naofu's cuteness. She picked up a piece of beef brisket, rinsed it with water, and fed it to Xiao Naofu. Xiao Naofu took a bite, and its icy blue eyes instantly widened. "Meow. There's actually such delicious food in the world. This hoo-hoo must be the happiest hoo-hoo in the world." Xiangyi was interrupted by Xiao Naofu and forgot about the topic she wanted to ask Anan. On the balcony, Si Chuan Bai handed Shi Sui a phone, and the screen stopped at the post on the melon forum, looking for candy to eat every day in the glass shards of the untimely CP. Take a look for yourself. What kind of public opinion has fermented now? Shi Sui swiped the screen and read hundreds of replies. Then, she leisurely gave the original poster a like. Si Chuan Bai. What kind of trick is this? Good night. You're tuning in to the Whispers of Romance YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.